Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Man, right now I know I'm getting to y'all kind of late. But Mercury is in retrograde. And it may be tearing up some things already in your life. Matter of fact, Mercury in retrograde, basically, the retrograde terminology is basically, from our perception from Earth, the planet looks like it happens to be, either stop moving or moving backwards. Or matter of fact, or it even look like it's moving in a circular motion, but like in the same spot instead of, just continuing, a continual, orbit. Like it look like it'll stop for a second, you know what I'm saying? And then go. But what's really happened, matter of fact, and I like to, give y'all a little diagram. Don't criticize the drawing, I ain't, just to give a little example. This is like, you could say it's like Mercury right here. That's why I didn't number this, because you could say it's like Venus, the Sun, and Earth, and things that are on a smaller orbital track, is going to move faster. And it comes a certain point at on Earth's orbit where, picturing from Earth, looking at Mercury is like moving in its orbit, like, while we kind of moving a little slower, and that view from Earth, looks like instead of it moving with its normal, look like it's moving a normal pace, it's moving where it looks like it's, going in a circle, because it's, moving a little faster than us. Which is always moving faster than us, like I say, but it's just certain points where the viewing point creates that illusion, But, hopefully we'll dig more into that and really find out and which I know that information is probably out there. I'm just coming out, with the information I have right now, Because I'm not, y'all know me. I don't proclaim to be the boss of all bosses of knowledge. I just give y'all what I know, and I intuitively get a lot that I don't speak on. Because I am a perfectionist as a Capricorn, so, But anyway, a matter of fact, picture, all right, so I just explained what retrograde mean, and then Mercury. Planet Mercury rules over commerce, communication, and networking, electronics, and your thinking process, or thinking processes. As a matter of fact, and to explain, like with Mercury retrograde too, if you're unfamiliar with the constellations or how things work, where if a certain planet, certain planets have certain energies, and if it's in the constellation of your zodiac sign, of your sun sign, then, it'll create a certain type of energy. Because matter of fact, like the certain constellations, like say for instance, if you're a Sagittarius and how you go outside and you could look at the constellation and see the Sagittarius constellation, and Jupiter would be in it, and Jupiter will give off a certain vibration, while in your zodiac sign, which it affects all zodiac signs differently, but it has that direct effect on, on the person whose sun sign it is for sure too, with it being in your sign. Because like right now, like in December, this retrograde, for Mercury happens to be in Capricorn also. As a matter of fact, this all right, like usually, Mercury retrograde only happens 3 times a year, but this year it happened to happen 4 times this year, with this time right now, right before the year ending, being the 4th time, which is, pretty rare. As a matter of fact, and every retrograde they had this year has been in the Earth sign. As a matter of fact, so say for instance, even though you may not be a Earth sign, the fact that, Mercury retrograde is in a Earth sign, it would happen to deal with, with manifestation of the physical, you know, because that's what the earth element deal with, you know, is more of the physical manifestations of things, you know what I'm saying? Trying to bring, you know, bring things from the physical into the physical. But like I say, Mercury retrograde, matter of fact, the shadow period was in December 1st of this month, of course. It appeared retrograde starting December 19th. So I was like, you know, I'm getting to y'all kind of late because I know it's, you know, 2 days after the 19th, which I don't keep over time. I think today the 21st. I'm not sure. I'm an infinite being. I don't really. Only when they really mean something. But it appears retrograde. Our period retrograde starting December 19th, and it's gonna be like that. It's gonna appear to be in retrograde until January 8th. So it's gonna go into the following year, and it's clearing its path like January 28th, when it's gonna, you know, seem to get back on that, you know, its normal path. And you know, when people speak of Mercury retrograde, it does have a lot of, you know, negative vibrations connected to it, you know what I'm saying, which it kind of does, you know what I'm saying. There's a few positive aspects that come with Mercury retrograde, you know what I'm saying. And then two, is to each his own, and different strokes for different folks, as far as like how I said with the stones. It's like you know, different zodiac signs gonna somewhat have a different experience, you know, to a certain extent, but all the same though, you know what I'm saying, too, in that same breath, you know. But say for instance, like the negative, matter of fact, I'll start with the positive. There's very few positive, but I mean, one of the things with the thinking process is slowing down and everything, just, you know, just getting in that disarray, it kind of allows you to have that time to, you know, slow down and just take some time to yourself, and, you know, and reconnect with yourself and recollect, you know what I'm saying. And matter of fact, all the reads, you know what I'm saying, reset, you know, reinvent yourself, but just, you know, let the universe work for you at this time, you know what I'm saying. You want to slow everything down, and basically that's the whole thing behind it, is like that you have like that little gap of, you know, to reset and let the universe, you know, take the wheel and hand it to the universe, which is still the universe, but you know what I'm saying, let the non-physical aspect of the universe handle, you know, things at this point, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, it just kind of gives you that kind of downtime, you know what I'm saying, kind of somewhat forcefully, because like I say, you know, if you try to do too much, you know what I'm saying, things may not go as you plan, you know, things may not go too well. And as far as the negative aspects, you know, electronics, you know, which I found that out, you know, which now, you know, y'all see I'm doing this video from my phone, in which I'm doing it from my phone. I forgot that, you know, I'd be having to put my phone on airplane mode and stop the calls from actually ringing, because this is the second part of this video. I say second part, but this is the second time I'm doing this video because I got a phone call in the middle of the last one. So dealing with electronics during Mercury retrograde really, you know, shows itself to be true. But like right now, I'm having technical difficulties with my I love saying that word, technical difficulties. That's a real tongue twister, or at least for me. But anyway, you know, dealing with my laptop, you know, in which everybody, I'm seeing that the Windows 10, that Wi-Fi problem, seems like everybody's starting to have it. Excuse me. But dealing with electronics, you gotta watch yourself, because Mercury retrograde, the fact that Mercury deals with electronics, but, you know, the aspect of the energy, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's just a viewpoint for us as far as like it looking, you know, Mercury looking like it's slowing down. But anyway, you know, electronics, you know, if you got a problem with your electronics right now, kind of don't even worry about fixing it right now, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I put my laptop to the side. I was like, you know what, before I make matters worse. And that whole time, you know what I'm saying, I was wondering, like, you know, what's going on? Like, you know, like, And then I'm like, Mercury retrograde, that's what's been going on. So I close my laptop. I ain't worried about it. Like, I just put it to the side. Like I say, let the universe, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that's where meditation come in handy, of course, you know. But dealing with electronic problems. Also dealing with business. Be careful of dealing with any type of business right now, man. Don't go to start off no business or anything, you know. Like the communications right now is like, you know, is running crazy, you know, it's not running smoothly like how it usually be. Matter of fact, we in Christmas time. If you're trying to buy stuff dealing with electronics and all that, you want to wait till, you know, after January 8th sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, dealing with mailing things and all that, something important, you know, right now might not be the good time, you know what I'm saying? And communication, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with communication with people, you know, in which in some cases, you know, it may pop up because I did hear something about Pluto's energy being in the background, and Pluto does have an energy of change, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, change may be, you know, say for the type of communication dealing with change may be something that may be harsh up front, but it may be a liberating change, or, you know, it's that type of conversation or communication you needed. It may seem like it was a negative situation, but it was really positive, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely going to be some communication problems, possibly dealing with probably you, family, relationship, you know what I'm saying? Whether just any type of communication in general, you know what I'm saying? But for sure, dealing with business aspects of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, if it's dealing with business, like business communications, and, you know, you and a business partner, you and somebody, you know, it'd be like, man, you know what, man, let's just look, we're going to pause for a second, we're going to take care of this January 8th, man, after January. You know what I'm saying? Like, set that to the side right now, you know what I'm saying? Because Mercury Retrograde, you know. Because, matter of fact, and another thing I've been experiencing is that, like, normally the things I focus on, you know, at this point, I give it, like, 2 days is the longest it'll take for at least one of the things that I've been focusing on to manifest. And I was like, oh, like, and be real with you, towards the back, like around, like, I want to say a little bit before the 19th. You know, I was, you know, trying to, having thoughts of manifesting things, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, without saying too much, you know, had people, you know, or a person I wanted to see was trying to manifest that in my head, you know what I'm saying, you know, and understanding that we both manifesting it in our head, you know, and matter of fact, low-key, we both Capricorn, so we dealing with the same, you know, mishap of how could I say, of energy, you know what I'm saying, the energy is in disarray, you know, but I'm watching it happen, you know, within my, you know, my own situations right here, how, you know, like the communication and everything is just, you know, just coming to, not say to a halt, but it's just problems with it. And you could see it. And another thing, processing information slower. Like I say, you know, the brain is kind of like, you know, like if you're feeling kind of indecisive, or, you know, like your brain overworking or anything of that nature, you know, just step away, you know what I'm saying? Don't give it too much, because you're just going to do something. You're just going to hurt yourself by trying to force yourself through these situations where, you know, it's like a forecast, you know, the astrology is a forecast. It's raining right now, you know, energetically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's hard to process information right now at a quick pace. So just, you know, don't try to force it. Just slow it down, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, let things come to you right now. And also, matter of fact, and just dealing with the electronic problems and stuff like that, I thought of a few little crystal, and I just all of anything dealing with Mercury retrograde. But what I was gonna say is crystal recommendations that I had. I thought about crystal quartz for dealing with your electronics. You know what I'm saying? So if you do have problems, or if you know you want to make sure your computer run pretty good. Program one of your quartz crystals to make sure that that the vibration of your motherboard stay in check or in tune. You know what I'm saying? Because most electronics, especially computers, CPUs, they use crystal oscillators. You know what I'm saying? That determine the frequencies within the motherboard, which is kind of like its communication lines and picking up on certain signals and vibrations, basically. Same thing with the crystals outside of the computer. That's how, so for people who don't think like, crystal, they ain't got no vibrator, how I pick up on a frequency. It's in your radios, your CPUs, all this, you know what I'm saying? But, I would suggest, programming a piece of quartz, around your computer. Matter of fact, because I used to be a computer science major, which is funny and how this information all kind of comes together, But, just program a piece of quartz, and try. But at the same time, the best advice, I would advise, just like I say, stay away from trying to even fix something electronically right now. Matter of fact, and if you're purchasing something electronic right now, make sure you get the warranty with it. Like somebody said, pay that extra little $7, man, get that warranty. Because you don't want to be all mad and feeling played later on when it's not working, just play it smart, But crystal quartz will definitely be helpful towards that process right there, dealing with your electronics, And then on the flip side, though, while, say for instance, because quartz is an amplifier, just in case the quartz may amplify, the vibrations that may be unhealthy for you, make sure you probably have like some shungite pyramid around or something, you know what I'm saying, to keep them EMF, them low vibration, them low frequencies, from messing with your aura. As a matter of fact, just to show you a piece of quartz too. But good recommendation. Also, another recommendation I thought of was lapis lazuli, because Mercury retrograde, it kind of messes up, communication and business and network and all this. And, for the most part, lapis lazuli, it deals with, of course, just the color in general is going to deal with the throat chakra, but it deals with intuition and your third eye and psychic abilities. But for the most part, dealing with communication, you know what I'm saying, to help, the vibration of communication in these times. So in case you choose, when I say choose, because we all gonna, it ain't like we're gonna be like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, so let's just completely stop talking right now, you know what I'm saying? Let's not say nothing. Let's not use a phone at all. Let's not, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we're gonna still do these things. So, just make sure you got something to help with that vibration. So lapis lazuli will help with communication, you know what I'm saying? Also helps with intuition. So, in case you may be thinking about making some type of game plan for business or doing something, you know what I'm saying? It'll give you an intuitive approach to it. And also, lapis lazuli has a pyrite in it, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this is a piece of lapis right here, But and lapis is what the pharaohs wore, of course. But lapis lazuli, I said, of course. But lapis lazuli also has pyrite in it, and pyrite is helps to deal with basically with dealing with business and manifesting things on the entrepreneur level, you know what I'm saying? Keeps you away from fraud business, anybody trying to give you a wooden penny, like the old school say, look, don't take no wooden pennies today. You know what I'm saying? Pyrite keep you away from them wooden pennies. But basically, pyrite also has that solar plexus energy, to give that vibration of confidence dealing with entrepreneur, businesses and endeavors. But I like I say, you don't want to halt everything, but just beware. But too, by having that lapis and pyrite, you know what I'm saying, together, that's a perfect combination to deal with the Mercury retrograde if you a business person dealing with communications, you know what I'm saying, which most business people gotta communicate, Matter of fact, and just how I showed you that lapis, I'm gonna show you the two different aspects that make lapis. But you got satellite, right here. And you got the actual pyrite. Food's gold is what it's called also. You got the Isis and Osiris. Pyrite is the pyrite that has that druzy look. Druzy is like where it looks like a bunch of little small crystals on it, you know. Basically the little aspect that you see right here, but just amplified. Like where it look like a bunch of little crystals. But yeah, lapis with the pyrite definitely do good for you. And also this matter of fact, lepidolite. And what's funny, you know what I'm saying, like, as much as, you know, as being a conscious person, we're trying to raise the vibrations, and we're trying to take y'all away from the past, away from, you know, all the old lower vibrations. But, you know, in some cases, the only way you're going to get the high vibrations is if you attach the terminologies to lower vibrations. And, you know, lepidolite, you know, you could think of lepidolite as the Xanax of your crystal family or your crystal king. Lepidolite, you know, it has lithium in it. Matter of fact, which they actually use lithium in your bipolar disorder medicines and things, you know, dealing with nervous system disorders in essence. But, you know, it's purple stone, you know, has lithium concentration, you know, in it. But lepidolite is, you know, helps to calm that anxiousness. Oh, because I wanted to say anxiety and anxiousness at the same time, and then I just got caught in the middle. Y'all excuse me, but I'm not going to stop this video because of that. Of course not. But lepidolite helps to calm down anxiety, you know, and it helps with anxiousness. Matter of fact, especially if you're anxious about like any future endeavors or anything. Matter of fact, because with this Mercury retrograde, matter of fact, your computer, like, all right, say for instance, my computer messed up right now, and if I wasn't conscious enough, I wasn't meditative enough, you know, then, you know, lepidolite would help me to calm down. Because if I wasn't, you know, aware to keep myself calm, I probably would be nervous, like, damn, man, my computer messed up, and kind of a little anxious about getting it fixed, you know. So lepidolite, you know, will help with that situation, which, like I said, is like it's the valerian root. I would rather, you know, say that, but, you know, everybody don't know about valerian root. But matter of fact, everybody now get Xanax out your mind, get away from that poison that them doctors giving you, and think about valerian root and chamomile, you know what I'm saying, to calm you down, help you with your anxiety. Lavender, you know what I'm saying, like, think of those things, calm you down. And then think of lepidolite, you know, in the crystal kingdom. Get away from that part. But I just use that as a reference because it does help with anxiety, and it help calm you down. So it would definitely be a good stone to have during this Mercury retrograde period. But that's it. You know, like I told y'all, I'm not super well versed on, you know, on astrology, you know, as far as what I remember from all my past lives and all eternity. You know, this is all I remember and all I got together right now. You know, on my little sheet. So, but just remember, man, like, it's what, from December 19th to January 8th. You know, so just business endeavors, electronics, you know, dealing with communication, you know. Just make sure matter of fact, I just make certain crystals for certain situations. Make sure you got your, you know, the right crystals that keep your energy right during this period, you know. And think about that for future Mercury retrograde periods, you know, how to, you know, keep yourself together and keep things, you know, balanced. Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.